it's called We Were Kings. I never knew how to fight, but that's all he knew. He only knew how to fight. He didn't fit in, and he listened to the same bands I did. I knew it from the t-shirts he wore. We were both scorned by our peers for our inability to go with the flow, so we bonded. And our love for self-loathing was only surpassed by our loathing for the ones who walked the halls looking down their noses at us. We sneered and made childish generalizations about their status amongst their high school pack of sheep. Together we were solid, a unit. No one thought like us, and we were dethroned kings. Waiting for the day we were to again regain our title. Because see, then the chicks would see that we were more than the flash of leather jackets and vicious sneers. We would be revered for our individuality and our sense of originality. But until that day, we had to keep our eyes to the ground while we awaited our rightful place. He would spend many an evening at my house eating microwavable burritos and shooting at whatever wildlife mistakenly stumbled into my backyard with a BB gun. Calling girls, watching softcore porn on HBO, and listening to Misfits bootleg records, we came together at the perfect time. The planets aligned, and we met, and we skated the same ramps, and we listened to the same music, and we went to the same shows, and we understood that we were kings. We bonded even more over the similarities in our broken home. See, he had an absent father and a mother that didn't understand. And I had a mother that didn't understand and an absent father as well. But the problem was, my mother tried to understand. This he resented. When I was inclined to point fingers to those that I accused of for stealing my rightful place, my mother did her best to diffuse that anger, but no one was there for him. So that anger went into the mirror. When you're a teenager, you hate yourself. It's only a matter of time before that anger is directed outward. I watched as it built. First it was the preps who ruled over the lunchroom. Those sheep, he would say under his breath as they walked by, why did they get all the hot chicks? And I would frown and nod my head in agreement. And then it was the suburban gangbangers that ruled the halls. These fakes. Like any of these kids would even point out where confidence. I would frown, and again, I would nod my head. Then it was the blacks. Why are they so loud? That was when it struck me that this might be headed in the wrong direction. These Mexicans, they come over here, they steal all of our jobs. Whoa, dude, you know I'm Mexican, right? Yeah, man, but you know what I mean. You're cool because you're not like a real Mexican. And that wouldn't be the first time I heard that phrase, nor would it be the last. As time went on, rhetoric like this became commonplace. It began as petty as punk versus what we viewed were conformists. But soon racism, homophobia, and bigotry were the excuse and the reason for whatever it was that was missing in our lives. I bought in. To an extent. Because I didn't fit in. No matter how much I tried, no one ever liked me for me. And I was always too skinny and too dumb and too small and too gay. There wasn't a direction for my anger. And there was so much so that when I dared to look it in the face, I ended up taking a razor blade to my skin, or breaking out the windows of cars, or telling my mother to shut her face. Because that animosity had to go somewhere. When you're young, the sights you've been given are calibrated for shit. So I aimed, and I shot, and I hit all the wrong targets. As soon as I began to see the holes in his reasoning, the bigger statistics he would throw at us during our skate sessions in the street now ruined our fun were beginning to wear on us. He blamed welfare and drugs on the blacks. He blamed AIDS and the lack of morals on the gays. He blamed the lack of jobs on the Mexicans, and he blamed the control of the media and the death of Jesus on the Jews. He blamed and he blamed. He pointed his finger, accused, tried, and convicted everyone that wasn't like him. Everyone that didn't live his life. I may have been young, but even then I'd seen what he turned into. What we hated, what we stood against, what we espoused to never become. And I didn't want it anymore. Because hate is heavy, and I was too smart to actively seek out such an unnecessary and overbearing burden. So I took one of the most important steps in my life. Standing in front of a bathroom mirror with clenched fists and a tear-streaked face, I asked the question why, over and over again. And it hurt. It was scary. It was like picking at a scab, but I knew it was for the best. I learned that evening in that bathroom that I can't control the lives of others no matter how much I hate. The only control I have is over myself, and I wasn't even doing that well. How could I possibly point fingers and accuse and hate people and cultures and communities I didn't know when I didn't even understand the kid that looked back at me in that mirror? I had no right. I at least learned that much that evening, that I had no right. Luckily, what else I learned was that I had an obligation to be as honest as possible, because I knew that if I couldn't be as honest with myself, that how would I ever have the ability to do so with anyone else? And how was I supposed to learn how to love and to be loved if I couldn't stand naked in an empty room? I was sabotaging my own life by attaching the insecurities of others to my back. That night I made a promise that I wouldn't live a life that only moved forward to push others down. I haven't had very many role models in my life. No teacher that went the extra mile, no coach that got me through the hard times, no tutor who helped me make the grade, no priest that taught me how to love, no godparent that gave me the secrets on how to allow myself to be loved. But that's fine. I've had enough people in my life to show me how not to live. And that's all the guidance I need to learn how to be a king once again. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight.